You're Malachi?
Yes.
Guidry? All right, in 26 CR 195, you're charged with the first degree felony of aggravated assault. He says he was a member of your family as well, which increases a punishment range.
Was charged with nothing.
Yeah. It's still family anyway. This aggravated assault, which would have been a second degree felony, is actually indicted as a first degree felony because when you assault a family member, that increases the exposure to responsibility for a crime. And the theory there is if you're going to treat family members badly, what are you going to do to a person who's a stranger? That's the spirit behind that law. But anyway, you're looking at a first degree felony. If convicted of this, you're looking at no less than 5 years imprisonment to life imprisonment. And because this is a firearm, a deadly weapon that was used, if you're convicted and sentenced to prison, you won't be parolable until you serve at least 50% of your time, which is a long time. What are we going to do today?
Judge, I've just got an updated offer for Mr. Coleman. He was just assigned the case. I'm hoping to talk to him about that, see if he's in trial next door.
Huh?
They're in trial next door. But
When's he going to start coming over here? Next week?
Yes. We just had to finish the trial next week.
if I would have one more 4-week reset to figure out what direction we're going, I need to be able to sit down and talk to Mr. Coleman.
This, in this case, Mr. Guidry, I don't know if this is a relative of yours, but under the law, whether it's blood relation or not, when you're accused of a crime like this, a serious felony offense, you cannot have any contact with that person. Do you understand?
Yes.
And if you are, your bond, if I find out about it, your bond will be revoked and you'll sit it out in the county jail until we can dispose of this case. If anyone on your behalf tries to contact this person, which I know happens too often because people get into trouble and then they start trying to figure out how to absolve themselves of trouble and they do it the wrong way. The law states and the rules of this court state you cannot approach or have any contact with a victim, even if they're a relative. And it would even be a fact if it was your parent that you had shot. But a cousin, still, you cannot. And if I find out about it, because the state's always looking into that, they want to make sure that people are safe. Because too often in this court, people think that they can manipulate the law. When they do that, they get in more trouble with me. If I find out you had any contact with this person or anyone on your behalf, it'll be this quick. You're going to jail until we can figure the resolvement of this, which could take years.
We've been over that a couple of times.
Yeah, I know. And the lawyers advise them, and still it happens over and over again. And those people are sitting in jail, waiting for trials for years sometimes. That's what happens if you don't follow the rules. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to ask the state to make sure, if you'd be so kind, check on the victim, make sure that there's been no contact.
Yes, sir.
Because the moment I want to know, a warrant will be for your arrest. That crystal clear. You're looking at life imprisonment, sir. Do you understand the importance of this? How old are you right now? Yeah. Life, that's the rest of your life. In a cell. Well, that's what happens when you shoot people. Should be relatives. If you're going to treat a relative like this, what are you going to do to a stranger who you take a disliking to?
He witnessed the son's death. One crew. When we can sleep Saturday, I was told that's the 8:22 minutes Saturday. So I think you're.
Kids was white and
Well, there's surveillance footage of this. Did you get that?
I have the discovery.
You have it, okay.
It's just a very serious offense and we're handling it and
And I just want to make sure there was this, it looks like a video here that's out there that you certainly don't want to miss. What was the significance of the injury here?
He was shot in the chest. I'm not sure.
Really? I mean, that's lethal, isn't it?
Okay.
Generally.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
I believe he had an abdomen.
I didn't hear what you're saying.
I believe he had a wound to his abdomen and an issue with his liver resulting from that.
The liver?
The liver.
That can be lethal.
That's why the serious.
Okay, and yeah, gunshot injuries to the liver and the stomach. I know people who've been shot in the stomach before.
Judge, we're working on it.
Try to digest your food for the rest of your life with that. Okay, next event,
4 weeks, Judge Brandon Oswald.
done.
Thank you.